Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking all about how to care for the Cory catfish. Now, the Cory catfish is definitely one of the best fish in the hobby. They're peaceful, they're beautiful, and they add life to the bottom half of your community tank, which a lot of other fish can't do. So I'm going to dive in about how to care for these things. Now, the first thing I want to touch on is having a good heater. These fish are tropical, so I'd say anywhere from 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 2 degrees Fahrenheit is appropriate. I personally have my catfish at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically just a basic tropical temperature is going to suit these guys well. They do good in any community tank, really. They don't really pick fights with anybody, so you just want to make sure that you're picking tank mates that won't pick a fight with them. Some fish that are territorial for the bottom, like pistograms, might not be the best tank mate for these guys, but just basic fish like rasboras and danios are the perfect tank mates. When it comes to tank size, I'd say a minimum of 10 gallons is appropriate. They don't get very big. If you see next to my hands here, that fish, it's not very big at all. It's about the size of my fingernail, a little bit bigger. But they do like to live in schools, so you're gonna need about at least 3 of them for their peak survival. So that's why I do say 10-gallon minimum. Although if you're one of those guys out there with a nano tank and you have a 5-gallon, the good news is that you can still keep these wonderful catfish, because there's actually something called a pygmy Cory catfish. It gets much smaller than your conventional Cory catfish, and you can keep those things in a 5-gallon. Now, something I want to talk about is a lot of people don't even feed their catfish, so they get a tough break of it. That's maybe why your catfish are dying. Maybe they're starving to death. So you got to get some good catfish pellets, okay? You don't want to feed them very much. Overfeeding is not good for any fish. It messes with their digestive system. I have 3 catfish in a 20-gallon. I give them about 2 of these a week. They're pretty small pellets, and, they eat them. So, catfish are pretty different than some other fish for a few reasons. Number one, they experience the world through barbels. So, those barbels, aka whiskers, on their nose, is how they hunt, that's how they find food, that's how they interact with everything. So much so, if you actually notice, that catfish only has one eye. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. Yeah, right there. One eye. And he has survived perfectly fine for about a month now since I got him. They're basically blind. They don't really use their eyes to hunt, so they rely just about 100% on their sense of smell, lateral lines, and barbels. So if their barbels get damaged, that can be some big trouble for the catfish. And it happens more often than you might think. Jagged rocks like Oko stone or something of that nature can really, really mess with your catfish's barbels, and therefore they won't be able to hunt or survive correctly. So I'd say some soft gravel. Some people say you must have sand to keep these fish. I've been keeping them since 2017, and I personally disagree. I have some fine pea gravel. They do good. General test is if you run your hand through your gravel and your hand gets all cut and bruised, that's definitely not going to be a good gravel to keep your catfish in. I'd say about 2 to 3 hides are appropriate. As you see right there, we got a catfish in the cave. They love playing in the caves. They sleep in the caves, and especially when they're new, they're going to want to hide out in caves because they might feel a little bit stressed in a new environment. Live plants are also very helpful. You see that catfish right there? They play in the live plants all day. So you don't absolutely have to have live plants, but I really, really recommend having live plants for your catfish. And when it comes to tank mates, just basic community fish, danio, rasbora, tetra is going to do good with them. That's all for today. If you guys have any specific questions, you can ask me in the comment section below. I've been keeping these fish for a very long time. I know quite a little bit about them from experience. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. Take care, guys.